So we're going to go ahead and get started, and we're going to start very basic. Billing time entry is a function of our Enterprise One system. So first of all, you can find the work instructions for a wiki on the green by searching E1 or billing time entry. And the work instructions are out here. We recently updated them, so they're up to date and should be easy to follow. Step one, for those of you that are project managers or construction non-field people that are using billing time entry, if you have a job that you can charge time to, you'll need to fill out this payroll form and submit it to Kathy to get the rate set up in the system for it before you can start entering time.
Otherwise, it will bill out at $10 an hour, and then the accountant on job will later on have to do a journal entry to fix it.
All of you field guys, your billing rates are already in the system, so that's not something you need to worry about. And you can, so now we're going to log into E1. You just go, it's on the green under Tools, and it's Enterprise One. Your user ID is your computer logon and password. And then you want to choose your role when entering time. It's called field time. And then everyone should have these 3 buttons at the top with their field time role. And you'll click on the time card entry. And then you can go ahead and search for if you want to enter a certain person's time or just need their employee number using this screen. Again, for a field personnel, it would just be last name, comma, first name.
Yes.
For a construction, like a project manager or PA, it's going to be
all caps.
All caps, and you will start with BTE because those individuals have multiple logins, and they are multiple options in the system. So you need to find the one with their billing time entry rate. For example, I just looked up Sarah Tepke, and I used an asterisk, put BTE, and then Tepke all in caps, and another asterisk. You don't need to complete the entire thing. And then you can select that individual's record by clicking next to the row, and then the green check mark.
And it's important to use the BTE record, because if you just go in there and you just search by their last name, comma, first name, you're going to be pulling up their payroll record, which is not going to get it processed with the billing time entry, since it's going to actually look like you're trying to pay them for the hours that you're actually trying to charge to the job.
And again, that is just for project managers and project assistants.
Yes.
Field guys, your employee record is your record.
Correct.
For charging to jobs and payroll. So if you have one person and you want to enter time, you can enter a single person, as we're going to show you right now. And there are a couple different, so the pay type 10 is our standard pay type. So you can type that in, and with our project managers in particular, depending on the needs of the job, you can enter hours for a single day, multiple months, or multiple days in a week, or for a whole month at a time. We do recommend, no matter what, you enter time monthly. Mm-hmm. It's the cleanest look in case we ever get audited down the line, and then it's easier to remember a process. But so in this instance, we're going to type in and choose whatever, and then your account number is kind of long. Sam, do you want to explain how that's structured?
The first is the job number itself. So Marie's using the Marina Heights, since that's one that's stuck in all of our brains. and then it's going to be a dot, and it's always going to be 11410 because that is the Ryan labor code. You don't want to use anything else because it won't process for the field. It won't process because of the fact that it's not pulling in our workers' comp rates, and with our billing time, it's not going to, I don't know what it will do with the billing time, to be honest with you. So then you're going to put the cost code, which is specifying what work it is that was done.
And you could look up data on these. In any of the sections, there's a little magnifying glass that will give you a visual assist. So if you want to check what, for this job number, what codes are open, or, what did I do wrong?
Yeah, I should have to hit the search.
Oh, search. So you can choose this list, and then it will type it in for you. So if you found the right one, it would fill in the blank for you.
And this is the reason why it's important to, when it says object count, to actually put the 11410 in there so that you're only pulling up labor that's open, versus if you leave that blank, you're going to get everything that is open under that job.
I chose poorly.
302.
I know, I wanted to do it really obvious to a job that...
Oh.
Sorry, apparently I forget what code to use sometimes. So then I will fill in whatever code we want. When entering a work date, you need to choose a date within the current week that you're in. So the work date will be, that are right now, it would be sometime between,
The Sunday to Saturday date.
yep, so sometime between the 25th through the 31st is the work date that we'd have to choose. You can't backdate anything without, beyond that range. So I'm just going to use today's date.
And one thing to know with the billing time when you're entering it weekly, it has to be entered before 3 p.m. on Fridays, or if the office is closing, like it just did this last Friday, at least right here in Minneapolis. You need to make sure that everything is entered prior to you leaving on Friday, because we will process before we leave on the Friday.
And that's 3 p.m. Central Time for those of you not in our time zone. So once you have your pay type, hours, account number, and work date entered, you can go ahead and then click on the green disc to save it. And now that time is entered. I could go in and enter multiple days within this pay range as well, if I wanted for this individual.
Or if you want to confirm that you got the time in there, you can click the X to get out of there, and then you can click the green check mark, and it will show you what it is that you entered into the system. So you can go in and verify that you have the correct pay type, the correct number of hours, the account number is in there, and the work date is correct. So if you're ever, doubting on how to go in and double check yourself, that's how you do it.
All right. So that's how you do a single entry manually. We're also going to show you a couple way to enter multiple people at once, either by hand keying or uploading the time. So you'll go to Form, Timesheet All, and then you can go ahead and enter multiple employee numbers that you found. So it's either employee number or a BTE record at one time, and you'd enter all that correct data. So here, and again, I could do this and And because I don't have them all memorized, I have to cheat. So you can go ahead and do that as well and then save those if that's what you want to enter. We are also going to show you another thing that you can do. One kind of in that similar format, something you can do, and I should start at the basics, is you can customize, we have the opportunity to customize all of our grids. You guys may be sitting there watching me saying, I have way more columns than that. One thing that I should have covered to begin with is that we have the ability to customize our grids to take out the data or the columns that you don't actually need to enter data on.
Yep.
So you can click on Customize Grid. The first thing, we're going to create a new one. First thing I would do is move everything that's over here on your right-hand column to the left, because there's a lot of stuff in there that we don't need. And then I'm going to have Sam tell us or show us which ones we need, because I forget.
What you're going to need is employee number. Mouse is different. And then you're going to need employee name, because that way you'll know that the employee number brought up the correct person that you're looking for. You need the pay and pay type description. Pay is the 10, the regular job time. And then you're going to need hours, and then account number, and then you want to skip down and do, if I can click on it, and click and also add work date. These are the only ones that you're going to need when you're doing billing time entry. So then you're just going to scroll down and click OK, and then it'll pop up with the name. We've done this a couple of times, so that's why there's a couple different formats. They're all the same, but the one that we just created was grid format name 3. So then you want to close, and then it has all of the columns that you need. So it had where Marie entered the ETE number here, and then it populated the name, and then pay is where she put pay type 10, and that shows what it is, and then the hours, account number, and then the work date.
Yeah. So now if we wanted to do an upload of this data, instead of hand keying everyone, because we have a bunch of people to enter time for, we can come over here and choose this export grid data, which will bring you to an Excel spreadsheet that you can, we'll put out an Excel spreadsheet with these headings that you can use to do this. So you can export to a new workbook, and it will include, those columns that we just did. I have modified one slightly just to add the data that we truly need, and then entered in the information, so I have everything. So you'll see on the only data here that we need to key, like Samantha mentioned, is, so we started with our employee number. The alpha name was the next column, and you don't need to enter anything there to upload it. Pay type, or pay, so we entered our 10. We don't need to enter anything in the pay type description. Your hours, your account number, and your work date. Again, all within that range. Then you're going to want to save this file so you can use it for upload to a place that you're going to remember. And so I'm going to close out of it and then go back to E1, maybe. And then I'm going to choose over above the grid, the import grid data. And it's going to ask me to go find my Excel spreadsheet. So I'm going to go find where I saved it. And again, you'd want to know what worksheet name that it's on. It's going to default to, I believe, sheet 1. So you want to know that name. So if you custom named or customize the name of that tab, if you have a if you're going to save this as a template to use on a regular basis, I would just recommend knowing what that name is. And it is sensitive to capitalization,
spaces, numbers,
spaces, etc. So just be aware of that. Then we're going to go ahead and step 2, now that we've found it, is defining the rows and columns. And I should have left that file open. And what we're going to upload and what it wants to see here is B2 is going to be what we're going to enter. So it's going to be column B, row 2. And then we're going to end down here in H16, because that's going to have us just upload this portion that have highlighted on the screen right now.
Then you want to click apply.
And then you click apply, and it's going to give you a preview of what so if you realized you typed in, really it's column C that I want to upload, or A, or perhaps I'm cutting off data. That's something I could check in this little preview screen. If it looks good, like you chose the right columns, then you can go ahead and hit continue. And I had an error. I forgot I planted one in there. So it will give you an error if something isn't correct.
Yeah.
And you'll see it by a red box. So here I was short a digit in my account number. So I can go ahead and correct that. Depending on your error, there are a few different ways that you can correct it. You may want to delete the line and re-input it completely if it's related to your pay type.
Yes, which is especially important with the field. In general, what my experience with processing the payroll is, if you discover anything that's majorly wrong with, if it's the pay type, which is pay on the screen, or if it's the account number that you realize that you inputted incorrectly, or even the date, you'll have to delete the line and re-enter. The thing that I cannot stress enough is that the system is very date sensitive and job sensitive. So if you happen to be on a job that has a specific job billable rate or pay rate or whatever it is, and the job number gets entered incorrectly, the pay or in the billable will not get paid out correctly. Even if you do go back into the line and correct it, the system will lock it in as soon as you enter out of that line.
So again, we recommend just deleting and then adding a line if
if you realize that the pay type is wrong, or if the account, the main job number is wrong. If it's just the cost code, you're fine.
Yep. All right, so once you have that all in, what you can do is, again, you can see a preview of everything that's in there. And then you want to hit the green save.
Which is what actually gets it into the system.
Yeah.
Just seeing in that previous screen, it does not actually save it. It's just in there for you to preview.
And then we can go, we do have a report that will preview the number of hours by person and work date for this pay period. So again, if you go back in your E1 and your field time entry role, go to the home page, you should have a button that says view job status, sorry. Or not that, sorry, I chose the wrong one. The time and pay before processed is a report. So if we select this and then choose data selection, and then you can go ahead and you want to, it says business unit recharge, so that's your job that you're charging it to. So we want to,
Actually, you can just switch it to the single value.
oh yeah, because we just did. Yeah. So here we just entered time to one job. And so you can key in that job number, hit OK.
Go back to it a second. So like if you were in here and you happen to enter, you have 3 different subjobs all in the same job, you can click that range of value. So like let's say it's 3270,000 all the way up to 3270,200, and there's like 5 different job numbers in between. You can do the range. You don't have to do single value or list of values for all of them.
Yeah, correct. Good point. In this case, we just did one job, so we're just going to look at the one and hit OK. Then you want to adjust the date work to your current work date. So I choose literal, and then
Always choose the,
I don't know which one. Oh,
yeah, you have to click on this. I always choose the Sunday date as the from and the Saturday date as the end, or to.
and then you hit OK. And then once you have those entered, you can go ahead and hit OK again, and then save. I feel like you click that button a lot. Then you can go to the one that has the PDF, and you can view the report that just ran. And it will show you all the time that we just entered. So again, this is another way to go in and review what you entered and uploaded to see if everything looks correct. If I go in and see this report and then realize I have too much time entered for someone, then I can go in and delete it. So if I say all of this time for Bob Richer is wrong, I can go back into his and delete it. And I just did that wrong. Sorry, I got click happy with this mouse. So then I can see, well, really I shouldn't have had any time for Bob, so I can go ahead and either delete one line or delete all of it. So I'm going to delete all of his that we entered. And again, I just selected this box right here at the top of the grid, and then I'm going to go hit the trash can. And that's going to delete all of that to make all of that data that was entered. And then I want to go ahead and hit the green save, or else that information will truly not be deleted.
Yep. Yeah, always keep on clicking that OK button until
it no longer is an option.
Yeah.
So right here I've already clicked save, so now I can use the red X to cancel out. And you could rerun that report again if you want to make sure that you deleted it correctly at that point. The last piece that I think, do we have anything else to show in this area?
I don't think so.
Okay. One piece that I'm going to show is more related to the project managers and construction teams is when this time gets entered and posted to a job, it gets posted as a single value for each pay period under each cost code. So it's going to say, I think it says billing time, and I can't remember what the line says, but on your job transaction report, you will only see one line item. I didn't want to choose all roles.
It won't show up as billing time. It'll have T4 as the line item, and then I think it might say time entry. It's been a while since I've ran one of those, so I can't necessarily speak to what exactly it shows up on the transaction analysis report.
So if you need the detail behind that transaction, behind that line item, what you're going to need to do is go to your PM time card detail, which you should have access to around, and it's under your report. So you'll select that, again, very similar to that report that we just showed you to preview your time. You're going to choose data selection and choose whatever job number that you just posted time to. We're going to use a different job example here. Not that one. And then you can choose the dates that you want to run it for. And I've just left that wide open. It's going to run for quite a long period of time. And this report will show you, oh, it wasn't done yet.
It's still processing.
Apparently I took a bad job to run for that amount of time.
There, it's done.
Okay. So then this report shows you all the different dates, and you can run it for the particular month that you're running your transaction analysis for, and it will subtotal by cost code. You can run it by individual or cost code. If you'd like, you can run the report not even by job, but by person, if you want to see where I charged all my time in the last month. That's an option. So and the last thing that I was going to share today is that there is a mobile app that you can use to enter time. It's still not widely used, but I will show you how to, where to find the wiki on how to download it if there's something you want to be able to do on your iPad, etc. I have not used it yet. I just downloaded it today, so I will not be providing training at this point. But I thought some of you really love technology, so you just want to go to your app store and you can download the Oracle J.D. Edwards app. It's an all-inclusive one. It's not specific to time entry. And then you'll want to view the work instructions to figure out how to log in, because you have to connect to the Ryan network to be able to do this, or to log into Ryan's E1 or Enterprise One version. So again, that link's right here that you would copy into there, and you log in with your same username and password into E1, and you'll be able to see your different roles. I think so. For those of you that would like to give that a shot, I'm told it's very straightforward to use. I just haven't had the opportunity yet, so just thought I'd let you know it's out there. That is all Samantha and I have today. We're going to unmute the phones now and open up chat if there's any questions. If there's no questions, then we'll just go ahead and we'll just go ahead and everyone can have a great day.
Any questions or anything like that?
All right, thank you for everyone for joining us today. If you have any questions after this, feel free to either call or email Samantha or I.